Oh boy, we have a ton of moves to talk about today, specifically regarding the bullpen, because we have guys going on the injured list, we have guys returning from the injured list, people getting DFA'd, just a bunch of stuff. So let's get right into this. So the first bit of news is that Scott Efros is being activated today. Now you might not remember Efros too well. He was traded to the Yankees from the Cubs at the trade deadline, but he is actually a very good reliever. On the season, he has a 2.75 ERA and 2.38 FIP in 52 and a third innings. So I'm excited to see what Efros can do. He only got to pitch 8 and a third innings with the Yankees this year before he got injured. In those 8 and a third innings, he had a 3.24 ERA. Throws a little bit sidearm, just another angle in the bullpen. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Now, the corresponding move is Greg Weiser is being sent down to the minors. He wasn't the best with the Yankees here. He had a 6.1 ERA in 10 and a third innings, but I don't think people should write him off because he has been amazing in the minors over the last 2 years. This year in the minors, in 46 innings, he's had a 1.76 ERA. Last year, 1.64. He's the closer for AAA, which is the highest level of the minors, so don't write him off. You might see him come up next year and be really solid. So I'm excited to see what he can do next year, but I'm really happy that Scott Efros is back. The next couple of moves here are Wandy Peralta being placed on the 15-day IL, retroactive to the 19th, with spine tightness, and Zack Britton is coming back off of the 60-day IL. And you might be wondering, well, what's the corresponding move? Because you need a 40-man roster spot. Miguel Andujar is getting DFA'd. So let's first talk about Wandy Peralta. I think this is a phantom IL. I think the Yankees are placing him here to be very cautious. I don't think there is a big issue because we haven't heard anything. He hasn't been injured all season, and he has been really, really good. One of the most underrated relievers in all of baseball, if you ask me. He'll be back in time for the last series of the season, so he'll be fine for the postseason. I think the Yankees are just playing it safe here. You have Zack Britton coming off of the IL, who is a lefty, so you can kind of give Wandy Peralta some rest here by putting him on the phantom IL. That's just my opinion, though. I think it's a phantom IL stint. If we get news that it isn't, then I'll make sure to update you guys on that. That's just my thinking. Now next, Zack Britton. You might not know who this guy is. He hasn't pitched at all this year. He's coming off of a mini Tommy John surgery. But he was one of the best relievers in all of baseball a couple of years ago. He is 34, and in his 11-year career, he has a 3.12 ERA. That is very, very impressive. He is a lefty. He throws a very effective sinker. And the Yankees have played it pretty safe with him in his rehab assignment. He's had 8 rehab assignment starts. So, pretty safe there. I think it's safe to say he should be back healthy, but I want to watch the velocity. Are we going to be seeing the Zack Britton that throws 96 as he once did when he was at his peak? Or are we going to see a Zack Britton that was throwing 93? That's throwing 93 like what we saw last year before he was placed on the injured list. We'll have to see. And then Miguel Andujar getting DFA'd. If you had told someone this back in 2018, they'd be shocked. But nowadays, it just makes sense. In 2018, he was second in Rookie of the Year voting. He was hitting like crazy. He hit 297. He had 27 home runs. Just really good there. But the last couple of years have just been horrible. He can't field. He came up as a third baseman, was horrible there. So the Yankees tried to move him to left field. Still not good there. He's had injury problems which have prevented him from playing. And then when he did get his shots, when he was in the lineup for the majors, in the with the major league team, he just wasn't hitting well. And next year, he doesn't have any minor league options. So the Yankees' options were either A, keep him on the roster for this year, and then next year, he has to stay with the major league team. You can't send him to the minors, or you DFA him to make room on the 40-man roster for Zack Britton. Pretty easy answer there. But that's the news. We have a bunch of relievers coming back. We have making a couple errors, my bad. Wandy Peralta going on the IL, Miguel Andujar getting DFA'd, and Greg Weiser being sent to the minors.